Ladies and gentlemen, let them miss you. It is a simple phrase that on the surface might seem like a passing piece of advice, a suggestion to create distance or to hold back in relationships, but when you pause to reflect on its deeper meaning, it becomes a guiding principle for self-worth, personal growth, and meaningful connections. In a world where instant communication has become the norm, where social media connects us at the touch of a button, and where the speed of interactions often trumps their depth, we have lost something precious, our ability to truly miss someone, to truly feel their absence. It is only in absence that we begin to realize the value of presence. The concept of letting others miss you is not about playing games, being manipulative, or creating artificial barriers to provoke attention. It is about understanding the natural rhythms of relationships, recognizing your own value, and giving both yourself and others the space to appreciate that value. To understand this concept fully, one must first understand the role of absence in our lives. Absence allows us to appreciate what we have. The old saying, "You don't know what you have until it's gone," holds profound wisdom. When someone is constantly present, when we are always accessible and available, there is little room for appreciation. The novelty wears off. We begin to take the other person for granted, to forget the reasons we admired them in the first place. Similarly, when we are constantly available, we rob ourselves of the time and space necessary for personal growth, reflection, and self-care. We must give ourselves the opportunity to miss others, to let our minds and hearts reflect on the importance of the people in our lives. In doing so, we allow them the opportunity to miss us as well. But why should we want others to miss us? Is it about wanting attention or validation? Not at all. It is about recognizing that relationships, whether personal or professional, thrive on balance. Relationships require a dance between closeness and distance, between being present and allowing space. When we give others space, we give them the chance to reflect on the connection we share. In turn, we also create space for our own growth, and this growth inevitably leads to greater self-respect and self-value. In romantic relationships, for instance, constant proximity can lead to codependence. The need for constant reassurance, constant contact, and constant validation can create an unhealthy dynamic. By allowing space, both partners can grow as individuals, pursue their own interests, and develop their own sense of self. This distance, this ability to live independently for a time, only deepens the bond when they reconnect. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, as the saying goes, but it's not just a matter of longing for someone's company. It's about recognizing the richness of their character, the value of their companionship, and the depth of the relationship that transcends mere physical presence. In friendships, the idea of letting someone miss you holds equally true. True friendship is not about being available at all hours, responding to every message the moment it arrives, or always being the first to initiate contact. True friendship is about quality, not quantity. It's about being there for one another in meaningful ways, not just in fleeting moments. Allowing space between interactions doesn't diminish the friendship, rather it strengthens it. It gives each person the opportunity to live their own lives, face their own challenges, and develop as individuals. When friends come together after a time apart, their bond is refreshed, their connection renewed, and they have something new to share. It also diminishes your own sense of value. When you make yourself too available, you become less respected, and your contributions may be undervalued. When you allow yourself the space to prioritize your own time and well-being, you not only protect your own mental and emotional health, but you also create a sense of mystery and respect. People begin to miss your input, your presence, your expertise. This in turn increases your value in their eyes, and they will appreciate you more when you do contribute, not because they expect it, but because they recognize the worth you bring. Letting others miss you also requires cultivating a sense of self-worth that is not dependent on constant validation. In the age of social media, it is easy to fall into the trap of measuring your value by the frequency of interactions, likes, comments, or messages. But real self-worth comes from within. It comes from knowing your own value, being comfortable with who you are, and not relying on others to constantly affirm that. When you are comfortable in your own skin, when you are confident in your own abilities and self-worth, you don't need to be constantly available to others to prove your value. Your absence does not diminish your worth, rather it highlights it. When you step back, others take notice, and they miss your presence. In relationships, we must also understand the importance of setting boundaries. Boundaries are not walls that separate us from others, but rather guidelines that allow us to maintain a healthy relationship with ourselves and others. Setting boundaries allows us to have the time and space we need for ourselves, for our own personal growth, and for the things that matter most to us. When we set boundaries, we are teaching others how to respect us, how to value our time, and how to appreciate our presence. It is through these boundaries that we give others the opportunity to miss us, because they begin to see that our presence is not guaranteed, that we are not always available, and that we must be valued when we are present. Letting others miss you also means practicing the art of letting go. It means understanding that no relationship is permanent, and that it's okay to let people come and go from your life. Some people will stay with you for a lifetime, others may only be with you for a season. But each person who comes into your life leaves a mark, and sometimes that mark is meant to be a temporary one. By letting others miss you, you allow relationships to evolve naturally, without forcing them to fit into your expectations or needs. You give space for people to grow, for connections to change, and for new opportunities to emerge. You embrace the fluidity of life, knowing that absence is just as important as presence. In the end, letting others miss you is not about manipulation or creating distance for the sake of attention. It is about understanding the importance of balance in relationships, valuing your own time and space, and recognizing the power of absence to enhance the connection between you and others. It is about creating relationships that are not built on constant proximity, but on genuine appreciation and respect. Letting others miss you is about respecting yourself enough to create space for personal growth, and respecting others enough to allow them the chance to truly miss your presence. So let them miss you, step back when needed, allow yourself the time to grow, and watch as your relationships transform into deeper, more meaningful connections. When you learn the value of absence, you discover the true power of presence.